Okay. Now you guys can hear me, right? Let me know. I think you guys can hear me now, is what I'm thinking. So let me know if you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? You got sound. Yeah, that's because we disconnected. Um, I can no longer hear him. That's what we're back to again. I can't see my guest and I cannot hear my guest. I just have a black screen on my end. And
can anyone hear me?
Yeah, but now you guys hear him. It's like impossible for us to do a live stream together if we can't hear each other. Or I can't, or I know he can hear me. If I can't hear him. And on my end, I don't have it. I don't have nothing.
Huh.
Black screen.
So people can see and hear me.
I can hear you both fine. I know everybody can. Everybody can hear us both and see us both. But as the host, if I talk to my guest, I need to hear my guest reply so that I know where to go from there. That's the problem. I could make it if I couldn't see him. That's fine. That's no big deal. But not being able to hear him, I don't know what to do.
Well,
that could be. You never know. Yeah, he could hear. He can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear Yankee. I can hear Yankee. I can see Yankee. I can't see the chat.
Well, he can hear and see me, Green Feathers. Just like when I had you jump on to test it, he could hear and see you. You guys could hear and see each other. But I still could not hear or see any of my guests. Which is just crazy. My guests can hear and see each other. I can bring in more than one guest. They can talk to each other.
Sorry for
I cannot.
I apologize.
Almost as if I got another shadow banned on me, I guess. I don't know what the hell to say. I can't. It's been 3 years since I've been able to chat in a live stream on YouTube. Do I take this stuff personal? I don't know. I guess I shouldn't. This happens to everybody, right?
We could redo it tomorrow night with different server, not StreamYard, something else. I'm cool with that. Whatever.
It's a good idea. That's what I did, Wolfgang. I did the phone call on the speaker, but what happened was you guys couldn't hear nobody. When you guys were all saying, I see you both, but I can't hear nothing, that's because I was talking to him on the phone.
I'm just easy going. Whatever happens.
When you use the phone as a phone, it shuts off the sound for the web and it works the phone. So you guys couldn't hear it. So it was a great idea, but it didn't work.
It was a good idea. In the chat, let Yankee know I'm good, man. I'm just
phone on speaker.
Happens, I'll just roll with it.
What's going on, Will? I'm having technical difficulties, man. I wanted to actually it was going to be a fun show. It was really going to give you guys a chance to understand the Mandela effect and to test your own memories and of course between the two of us we had a bunch of different things to add about it. And of course with me, if you guys know me at all or follow any of my videos at all, I kind of like to dissect the brain and try to understand how we think and why we think the way we do. And there's actually a pattern to it. That's what I'm fascinated with. So when the Mandela effect comes up, I actually have a really valid viewpoint of the Mandela effect, but not being able to share that openly with both sides and everything to be said, it's just makes it really hard. The Mandela effect is weird, guys. Like I would say, one of the things I had planned, and Ford, I just dropped you down small there, man. I know the audience to see it. I guess, Ford, you're going to have to add a lot of chat to the chat room if you have something you wanted to say to me. since I got onto it here a little bit anyway, let me go ahead and as the topic of the Mandela effect. Of course, what is the Mandela effect? The Mandela effect is simply many people believe that Mandela died in the 80s. And then many people believe that Mandela died in 2013. In 2013, there was a big announcement of his death, but like I said, many people believe that they remember the same announcement of him dying in prison. This is kind of the stem off. Now, from there, there's all kinds of examples of how things have changed. And to the conspiracist side of things, the Mandela effect is actually a shift in the universe, or a change in the universe, to where we don't no longer remember the same reality because somehow reality changed. And there are examples to this before I get into any other type of thing, but there are examples to this where we're on a wide scale. And with a lot of small items like peanut butter. You see on one side of me, I have Jiffy or Jif peanut butter, and on the other side of me, I have Jiffy peanut butter. My question to the audience is whether or not you remember Jif or Jiffy. Don't cheat and go look at your food pantry, but what do you remember of this particular product? Do you remember Jif or do you remember Jiffy? Now, the Mandela effect claims that that it has changed, that it was once one of these and it is now the other. And I will tell you that the Jiffy or Jif company claims that it has never changed, that it has always been this or this. What do you think? What do you think it is? JIF, Jif, or JIFFY, Jiffy? GIF, Jif, Jif. And see, there on that aspect, you all are correct to what it actually is. Now, I brought this one up first because this one I knew right away too. I knew right away because I remembered the jingle from Choosy Mothers. They choose Jif. They don't choose Jiffy. Choosy Mothers choose Jif. And that's, and that's why I pulled that one. I pulled this one up because I thought I wanted to start with the simpler ones and then get more into a little bit deeper of your memories and see what you guys remember. And let's go ahead and let's pull up another one. And this is another one that I knew the answer to, again, because of the jingle, but we'll see what you guys remember of Oscar Mayer spelt with an E, or Oscar Mayer spelt with an A. Again, Oscar Mayer Company claims they have never changed their slogan over the years. But which do you remember? If you search your memory, is it with an A or an E? And I did give this one away because, look, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't very good in school, but I could spell Oscar, Mayer, and Bologna. Why could I spell those things? Because I could sing the song. That's why. My Bologna has a first name. It's OSCAR. Amen. Don't even talk to me. It's an A. It's an A. It's an A. Meyer, and we got A. And you guys are staying right. If you said A, you're staying right on track with the factuality. So we're not proving any Mandela effect here with these particular items. But also, see, and I wish I had Ford here I wish I could hear Ford, because also the thing I would add to this is that the conspiracists for the Mandela effect have a failsafe. Okay. Now I can and I will load you with all kinds of science of why some people remember an E when it was really an A. We'll get to that in a minute. And I'm going to pull up some more for you guys to look at too. But I will say that the conspiracists, okay, they have a failsafe. They claim that if you remember the way it is now, opposed to the way it used to be, as the conspiracists would say it, then you yourself have gone through this universal change. So you changed. That's why you remember it right. So again, they do have a fail safe that they fall back on. So it's kind of hard to argue the conspiracy. But here I got two pictures you guys recognize, the Monopoly man, and one Monopoly man has a glass over his eye, and the other Monopoly man does not. Which one do you remember? Which one is accurate? Did the Monopoly man wear a monocle, or did he not wear a monocle? And this one is, I think, a little bit harder, but there's a reason I believe this one's harder on the science end of it. Because this isn't an A or an E that you sing in a song. This is a little bit different. This is a picture of a man dressed in a way that you would expect him to have a monocle. Now, why would you expect him to have a monocle? Well, you would expect it because of other characters who dress like him and do have a monocle. One of the biggest known ones, the planter peanut. However, you may be shocked to find out the Monopoly man never had a monocle. Now, again, I already told you the Mandela side, if you got it right and why you got it right. But let me tell you the Yankee side of why you got it wrong, if you got it wrong. Monopoly man is this one particular. You don't recognize the Monopoly man from the box of Monopoly. You recognize the Monopoly man from the McDonald's game because they plastered his face all over everything. Monopoly only ever put his face on the box. McDonald's put it everywhere. For copyright reasons, McDonald's added a monocle. Okay, there you go. But we're going to get into a little bit more detail about your brain here in a minute too, and why your brain is easily tricked and fooled. Our brains add details according to patterns. Here we go, Humble Scat. You are awesomely correct. Let me talk about the brain for a second. Hopefully not to bore you guys out, but let me talk about the brain for a second. The human brain, we'll refer to it as being like a computer. And in one respect, it is like a computer. But when we talk about memories, it's not so much computer-like. If I take a file of a bunch of pictures and a bunch of letters, and I move that file into a memory on a computer, it takes that identical file and it moves it identically into that folder. Your brain does not do this. If your brain has a memory, it too downloads it to a safe place, to a memory. Okay? It takes it from one part of its brain and it downloads it to another. While your brain is doing this, it doesn't really care about the nuances. It cares about the focal detail. So what happens? What does that mean? Well, that means your brain really leaves blanks in the actuality. Okay, I went to the beach yesterday. I seen 4 or 5 people, and now I'm going to try to guess and tell you what they were all wearing. Well, here, let's be an honest fact. I was at the beach with these people. I should know what they were wearing. I seen what they were all wearing. But as I recall it, I may not remember Bob had on brown shorts. Now, there's probably a reason for that. And probably because I was checking out Betty in her bathing suit. But I really didn't notice Bob's brown shorts. But here's what my brain does, okay? My brain knows I don't care about Bob's brown shorts, so my brain kind of leaves that area blank. When I recall Bob, my brain knows he was wearing shorts, so now I just add whatever color fits the moment. Your brain does that crap all on its own, all by itself. It doesn't need any help. The brain is kind of amazing because it's a problem solver. It leaves blanks, but it also fills in the blanks because your brain doesn't like a non-concluded situation. Your brain concludes it. That's why we have so many theorists out there, because our brains like to jump ahead of us and conclude everything. Where is the handsome guy? I know you left me, bro. And you want to hear something? I didn't even get to see how handsome you were tonight or get to see your goatee or anything of the sort. This is why people see aliens on Mars and the moon. Hubble's cat, that's another. See, dude, you're right. You are right on target here tonight. And, well, for good reason, considering what you do. But that's one of your most basic human instincts, is to recognize faces. It's all part of your fight or flight mechanism, right? That's what it is. It's all part of that, whether or not you seeing something safe or seeing something different. It's really important to the human race that you could recognize other humans. That's why our brains look for faces. Our brain literally looks for faces. It does. So why do we see a face on a rock or a face on another planet or the man on the moon? Well, guys, that's because that's what your brain does. Your brain connects those dots for you. And it's instinctive. It's all part of your development of becoming a human being, that identity with the face. People are programmed to see faces and stuff. Yeah, we are. For survival. You got it, man. You got it. And K and J, welcome, my friend. And you are 100% correct. That is, the brain is an amazing thing, but it's, guys, there's a reason why when it comes to a court of law, two people can tell two completely different stories under oath and nobody be a liar. All right. See, the police understand this. They understand it when they take reports from people. They understand that your memory is subject to fail immediately after you witness something if it's interacted with any other situation. Many experiments have been done. One of my favorite, they took a group of people. They did it with a few different groups and a few different control settings, but the gist of it, they took a group of people down a trail, walked them down a trail. And at one spot at the trail, there was a slight clearing in the bush, and you could see out into the field. Now, they staged one white vehicle and two gentlemen in hazmat suits. They staged them in that field, okay? And as the people came down the trail, they all of a sudden, they told everybody, hey, we got to keep moving fast by here. There's something going on in that field and we're not supposed to be here. So we got to keep moving. That's what they told everybody. So they brought everybody's attention to the field, but made them all leave quickly. Now, that was for one group. For another group, they changed up the stories a little bit. And they said, hey, the government said something about a UFO crashed here and we're not supposed to be here. So we got to keep going. And in the same manner, they pointed out the field and to the people. Now, just from them giving those two different pieces of information, one was that they're doing something in the field we're not supposed to see. The other, the government has a UFO crash and we're not supposed to look at it. We got to keep going. Those two stories, the groups of people were then questioned about what they saw. Just from the story being different, so was their stories different. The ones who thought they walked past a UFO crash seen more people than were even there. They seen cars with lights on them when there was just a white car. They seen things that weren't there. Were they lying? No, they weren't lying. They were rushed by really quick, and they only got a quick glimpse of what was in that field. So their brains filled in all the blanks. This is honestly what happens to all our brains. None of us are perfect memoried. And guys, it happens to you all the time. You got to have that day where you can remember vividly putting your keys in that bowl where you keep your keys. I remember putting it in there. I did it. Where are my keys? Who took them? And then you finally find them in your pair of pant pocket that you were wearing yesterday. And you say, oh, guess I didn't put it in there. But up until that point, you were 100% convinced you put it in there. That's how your brain really works. Nobody took your keys back out and put them in the dirty laundry hamper in your pocket. You just forgot to take them out of your pocket. And, well, how can that happen? How can I remember doing it so vividly? Well, that's easier than you think because of your brain. You put your keys in that thing every day. So your brain has a pretty good memory picture of you putting your keys in the key holder. When you forgot to put your keys in the key holder, but thought you did, your brain could easily fill in the blank and say, yeah, remember, keys in the holder, because it has that visual on record. And that's what happens with our brain. This one here was kind of neat. Fruit of the Loom. I had to think about this one for a minute. Fruit of the Loom, guys. Was Fruit of the Loom a fruit inside of a, was that cornucopia? Cornucopia? Yeah. Or was Fruit of the Loom just fruit sitting by itself? Fruit of the Loom. Was it located? Was it in a cornucopia? I said it right that time. Or was it just fruit sitting all by itself? I'm trying to get back to my chat here real quick. You watch a video. Go across the other. Right? Crash back. Right. What is it? I don't remember the cornucopia, but imagery would make sense. The imagery makes sense. See, and you're on the track to why so many do remember a cornucopia, and a lot do remember it. The actuality, if you go ahead and peel your underwear back, it's without. Yeah, I'm trying to point to it. Boom, it's without the horn. But Green Feathers, you named it though right there, was the horn is a pretty embedded picture in many people's minds, mainly through the Thanksgiving season. It's a decoration that you'll see. So to think that many people imagine the horn there, that's not so hard for me to believe. If you don't really know, you would probably quickly say horn because it looks right. It does in a way. It looks right because of what our brain has been, again, trained with seeing other things. And the key to that is if you don't know. That is the key. Because if you don't know, that means your brain's going to fill in the blank. That's that little thing our brain likes to do. And okay, let's push back. There are, certain things like OCD and is a big one. Especially the more extreme the OCD you are, you may have more of a memory problem than other people on this memory recall, and you may be more apt to change the reality for the fiction. And that's not really your fault. That's kind of has to do with the OCD itself. A person with OCD, and the more extreme OCD, the worse it is. You are a type of person who second thinks the answer. So you are the person who would say in your head first, oh, it was without the fruit. So I must be wrong. It must be with it. And then you'll say it was with it. And that's really common for people that way. I think the ones who don't have the confidence problem about your answer, they're the ones that get a little more hung up on, no, I really do remember it this way. But there's millions of people that really remember a situation being one way when it wasn't that way at all. This was a good one, and it made me think for a minute, but I knew the answer. I kind of did the OCD thing with this one because I knew the answer, but the answer don't look right. What do you guys think? Did Fruit Loops go with fruit spelt wrong, like this here, or did they spell fruit correctly in loops? The Bernstein Bears. Yep, I actually got a picture of that one too there. Okay, so fruit. We got one that remembers OO, and we got one that remembers fruit spelt correctly. And I gotta say, Wolfgang, this was one that made me do this. I wanted to give myself that second answer. My first intuition was, well, they spelled it all with O's because they used Fruit Loops. Whoops. Come on, this way. Because they used Fruit Loops to fill in the O's, they spelled it all with O's, and that was my first impression. However, this one just looks right. Well, it looks right because it's spelled right. Actually, this one is incorrect. Fruit Loops spells with all O's. And always was no actual fruit in. Yep, no actual. Hey, there you go. And that's what I remembered also. But I still, when I was doing this, because I tested myself on all these without looking at the answers because I wanted to know. I wanted to know how I did. And this was the one that made me. I wanted to second guess myself, but I did. I remembered that slogan or that little saying right there about the artificial fruit, and that's kind of the deal clincher there with that one. Made from essence toucan. They are all the same flavor. I believe they are all the same flavor. It's like Fruity Pebbles. Fruity Pebbles. Wait a minute. Now that reminded me. I got one here. Didn't I have one? I got one of these. This guy. Let's see. The Flintstones. FLINT. Yes, and one T. Okay, that was the difference here. I forgot what the difference was. Flintstones with one T or two T's? Hey, two T's. Let me get the hell out of the way. One T or two T's? Which one looks correct to you guys? And let's jump back. Fruit with O's, that was correct. Fruity Pebbles. I tell you what, it's my favorite fruit cereal if I was going to eat a fruit cereal. So, and doing, whoops, don't even tell me it's Flintstones without two T's. And okay, are you ready for this, guys? It is actually Flintstones with two T's. I really didn't know on that one. I guess I wasn't a big enough Flintstones fan, and I looked at it back and forth, and to me that one was I just don't. I guess it wasn't a battle I was gonna fight for because I just really couldn't remember. But that's what it is. Flintstones, of course, claims they have never changed their trademark, that it has always been that way. So again, it's if you remember it the other way, it does feel weird when you hear it's wrong. I'll definitely openly admit that. What is this one here? Oh, yeah, it was funny. This one I just thought was a common sense one to me. This guy standing behind me here is Henry VIII. Henry VIII is portrayed in this famous picture, but my famous picture is different. One, he is eating a turkey leg, and in the other, he is not eating a turkey leg. Which do you remember as being accurate or true? Was Henry VIII eating a turkey leg, or was he not eating a turkey leg? It is. I thought it was funny too, Green Feather, man. When I seen it, I was like, all right, that's awesome. But I understand why people get it wrong. Look at there, turkey leg. Actually, and we'll go ahead and see if anybody else wants to answer. I didn't think he's with any food. Okay. To me, I thought it was funny just because throughout comedy, they give this character the turkey leg. But in real life, no, there was no turkey leg in his famous portrait. But again, people get it wrong. Is it really wrong of you to get it wrong? Because you have probably seen him portrayed in well, here's a place that I know you've seen him portrayed, and I'll guarantee he was. Oh, wait a minute, don't I have it? I thought I had it. Oh, I guess I don't. I had one of Looney Tunes, but anyway, I'm sure the Warner Brother cartoon characters had imitated him at a time or another, and he would have had the turkey leg because that was just part of the kind of like the comedy of it all. All right, double stuffed Oreos and double stuffed Oreos. Hang on a second. Let me do this so I can pull back up and look at you guys again. I need to come here. Come on. So what is it? Double stuffed with STUF or double stuff STUFF? Which do you remember? Double stuff Oreos. The double stuff with two F's or double stuff with one F. And I asked a family member because he actually worked corporate for Nabisco, and he laughed at me for thinking this was any type of a theory whatsoever. He had no problem knowing the right one. So to me, that kind of confirmed that it had never changed, especially since he's in his 90s and he had no problem identifying which one. In fact, after bringing it up, I got the whole story behind double stuffed Oreos. Let me share it with you. It's cheaper to create double stuffed Oreos than it is to create regular Oreos, because double stuffed Oreos, he'd be so pissed if he heard me say this. Double stuffed Oreos have less cream in them than the regular ones. How is that possible? It's because it's whipped. They whip the cream, fluff it up. It takes half the cream and they sell it for more money. You didn't hear that here. I deny it. I didn't say it. Oh, mercy. He would be so pissed if he heard me say that. But I actually heard the story, but it didn't come from him. Oh, it's just rotted. Oh, mercy sakes alive. Cheese it. Cheese it. Is it cheese it or cheese it? Cheese it. Cheese it. Oh, dude. I was like, what the fuck do you want? He was an Oreo kid in the commercial, really? The commercials for Pete. Hey, Flash, what's happening, brother? Welcome, my friend. Number 2, it is Cheez-Its or Cheez-Its. It is Cheez-It. That is the one again. People remember it the other way, according to that Mandela effect. They remember it as Cheez-Its. I'm not sure about that one at all. I as far as where the mist label came from. Did it come from the way we mispronounce it? Because do you say Cheez It or do you say Cheez Its? Say, do you add a Z or an S to the end of it when you say it naturally? And that may be the reason why so many people remember it this way, even though that's not the way it is. Usually, when we really do study the memory enough, you can get to the bottom of it of the misunderstanding. But sometimes there may be, some that just stick a little differently. Speaking of stick a little bit differently, let's say, for example, a famous little saying you've heard many times in your life: "Mirror, mirror on the wall," right? The Wicked Witch in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. But what if I told you she didn't say "Mirror, mirror on the wall"? So I don't know. I'm going to ask you: did she say "Mirror, mirror on the wall," or did she say something else? And what did she say? If you know what she said, I'd love to hear what you think. And now this one here, a lot of people may get this one wrong. And was it "Mirror, mirror on the wall," or was it something else? And the reason many people may get it wrong would just be because of the way it had been marketed since the actual Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Keep in mind, you probably only seen Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs a handful of times, but commercials and other advertisements for things that may have had nothing to do with the Seven Dwarfs, but may have marketed on "Mirror, mirror on the wall," that may be the reason why we remember it one way and when it happened another. Never ever did say "mirror, mirror." No, just mirror. Actually, she actually said "magic mirror on the wall." Magic mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest one of all? Well, that's you, Yankee. Well, thank you, mirror. You are awesome. On that note, though, and we're going to stay right here with that same type. I took a couple notes here earlier. Excuse me. And talking about famous movie lines. And now, see, I think these things get confused easier because of the fact that they get marketed by other people. The other people don't copyright, so they change it a little bit. And that becomes really the thing behind you not remembering properly, is because whoever markets it and changes it a little bit probably markets it harder than the movie did. How many times did she say it in the movie? Once. How many times did they say it in a commercial talking about something else? Thousands. Okay. So that becomes like another one on the same. We'll go to Forrest Gump. Any of you know the movie about Forrest Gump? Forrest Gump had a famous line: "Life is like a box of chocolates," right? Life is like a box of chocolates. Or am I wrong about that? Did Forrest Gump actually say life was like a box of chocolates? Give that one a think for a minute. Was it life is like a box of chocolates, or life was like a box of chocolates? Is or was? Now, while I ramble, let you guys think about that for a minute. I can quickly explain to you why many people will get this one wrong. Because Forrest Gump only said that line in a movie that you've probably only seen once, twice. Would you watch it 3 times? Okay, here's a medal. You watched it 3 times. But that means you only heard him say it 3 times. However, you've heard social media posts, you've heard TV commercials, you've heard sitcoms embellish it and use the line. You've heard numerous other ways of people saying it, always referencing the movie. But did they say it wrong for copyright infringement reasons? Who knows? But what is it you guys remember? My mom always said, life said, likes like a box of chocolates. Life's okay. So, life's like a box of chocolates, or life was like a box of chocolates. And again, guys, get ready here. You're going to have to go watch Forrest Gump again. But I'm going to blow your minds away because I got this one wrong too. I'm not afraid to say I got it wrong, but I got it wrong. I feel I got it wrong for a legitimate reason, because of marketing. But I got it wrong. Forrest Gump says life was like a box of chocolates. Now, he was talking in the past, about the past, and he was using the box of chocolates in his reference. And all I could say is check out the movie, and you'll see that social media and commercials can control the way we remember things if they say it wrong to us enough times. If they say it enough times wrong, it will become right to our heads. And that's, it's just the way it is. And again, don't feel bad if you get any wrong, because honestly, well, first of all, maybe it's the Mandela effect. And this is all part of the universe changing. Or maybe it just concludes that you're a normal human being and that our brain's got a lot of functions to go on. And for it to remember the little nuances, like the is and was in an entire movie that you watched 10 years ago, isn't a function your brain is really ready to take on. It don't really care. And it'll leave that spot blank, and it'll just throw something in when it needs to. And that's honestly what goes on. Yes, yeah, when we saw the film. Yeah, odd and is not what he said. Hey, you know what? I guess we'll have to watch and check. I have it on VHS from the '90s. I was about to watch it. You're gonna have to, Green Feathers, to let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. But I don't believe I am. Here, let's give you another one. And it's from another popular movie that you know. Luke, I am your father. Or did Darth Vader just say, I am your father? Luke, I am your father? Or just say, I am your father? One or the other. He did say one or the other. Luke, I am your father. Or he just said, I am your father. So, did you guys think about that one for a second? You just watch the other stream, Mike and Deep. All right, bro. No, Luke, I am your father. No, Luke, I am your father. I can't remember. Okay, guys, I didn't fact check this one. And I even made note here that I didn't fact check this one. Why I didn't fact check it? Well, because I didn't have time. But why did I make a note? Because I agree with you guys. I agreed that he said, no, Luke, I am your father. But according to this, that's not true. According to this, he never said Luke. He never said Luke. He said, I am your father. After Luke's line, Darth Vader said, I am your father. So that one's one that I guess we're going to need to fact check also, and maybe blow our minds on. I was wrong about a few others, so I assumed I was probably wrong about this one too. Armstrong say when he stepped on the moon. Is that another one? And his death is one also, Hubble's cat, right? Because he passed away, and a lot of people remembered him passing away sooner than he passed away. Kind of like the Mandela situation. Smokey the Bear or Smokey Bear? Smokey the Bear or Smokey Bear? Which one is it? I just watched it. Yes, it was like life was like life was like. There you go. There you go. And it is. See, it blows you away when you actually really feel you knew it. They're the ones that do blow you away a little bit. But again, I don't think it's not an unnatural thing that we're going through. It's the same thing about when you find the keys. Except the difference is your brain is easy to say, "Oh, I forgot." Yep, there they are. I remember now. And maybe with these other things, you just actually heard them so many times said wrong that your brain really is ready to argue for it. But no, I know it's the other way. Easy to mix up. Luke Skywalker, Gospel of Luke. Hey, what's going on? Jeremiah Dream, welcome, my friend. It's great to see you here. New follower to the group, guys. Give them a great welcome to the room. It's awesome to see new faces. And we've been communicating in comments lately, and it's just awesome to see you here, my friend. Thank you for coming. And JFM, welcome, my brother. It is great to see you. So we said Smokey the Bear or Smokey Bear. And again, this one might be one that throws you a little bit. Believe it or not, it was Smokey Bear. Yankee fired me. No, I definitely didn't fire you, brother. I definitely didn't fire you. We had some major technical difficulties tonight, but I just, Ford, I think you understand. I had to go forward at this point just to get it out there. I don't know what we're gonna do about future streaming. That I'm worried about. So when I get off of this stream, I'm gonna contact StreamYard. They do have a contact email, and I'm gonna let them know what I'm going through, and hopefully it can be resolved within the rest of this week. You guys know I do a live stream of some sort every week, so it's kind of a big deal. It really is. Howie, welcome, Howie. Brother, I show up at your live streams, but I'm blocked again from live stream chat, so nobody knows I'm there. But I tried to let you know I was in there. If I got side contact information for you, I'll send you side messages while I'm watching your streams so that you know I'm there. But I didn't have anything. You told me you had an email in your about section, but not on the cell phone. You do not have an email in your about section. It is not there. You like letters, very laid back. I do very well with stress. Oh, you're doing great, bro. You are doing great. And it was just Smokey Bear was the answer to that one. We're going to wrap it up here, the guys, really quick. But before I do, let me ask you just here one more real quick. the actor Sinbad. He was a comedian, actor, Sinbad. You guys, I believe you guys know who I'm talking about. I don't have a picture of Sinbad to throw up, but Sinbad has a lot of people that believe one thing and a lot of people that say no, that is wrong. This falls into the Mandela effect. And the question is, did Sinbad ever play a genie in the movies? Has he ever been a genie? Ever in his life did he play a genie? And many people really believe that he has been a genie, and then there's people that don't believe that he was a genie. I'm just curious which one you believe. That'll be our last Mandela effect to get into here tonight. Miss Stratton, you got it right, hon. He was never a genie. They did explain on this particular one that there was a movie that he did that was spelt very close to the same name as another movie with Shaq in it, and Shaq was a genie. And they believe that that's actually the confusion was in that name of the movies because they were both like similar named movies. But really, I didn't think he was. Say, can I get the lottery numbers from Eugenie? There you go. And Dwayne, welcome. Yeah, 9, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Look, again, guys, if you were wrong about any of these, don't feel bad. First of all, you may have been wrong because there's been a universal shift, and the universe has completely changed around you. Or you could be wrong just simply because it's not an important enough fact for your brain to really remember in any identic form. Excuse me. All right. I am going to wrap it up. I guess I could throw this one up here, though. I got sex in the city. And I got sex and the city. Sex in the city, sex and the city. This is the last one I'm doing. And I do appreciate everybody coming tonight. It was great to have you all here. I are displaced. Oh, no. You guys, man, we're going to get it lined out. We'll get this lined out. Hubble's cat says sex and the city. And the city says hawk. In the city says Wolfgang. And it was in this particular case, it is and the city. Sex and the city. Again, I would say if you got it wrong, you probably weren't a fan of the show, but you heard about the show and you heard the slogan used in other ways, in other social media and whatnot. And this allowed your brain to fill in the blank. And that's probably the reason if you did get it wrong. Hupples. Oh, never. Ford was here. We had difficult technical difficulties tonight, guys, and I couldn't get audio and visual on my end. So we had some trouble, and we ended up just abandoning the trouble, and I flew solo. I actually started a second stream and everything, try and fix it, and nothing worked. I didn't want to just leave everybody completely hanging, so I really felt obligated to just go ahead and run the show through anyway. I really did want to do it with Hiking Deep with me because he had a lot of stuff to offer that I didn't have to offer, and that's how we try to do these shows. So really, you guys kind of got half the show because I was relying, on his part of this. But guys, I do appreciate you all coming out. Hopefully we'll get this lined out in the near future. I am going to end it right here. Make sure I did say it is Sex and the City. And y'all have a great night. Let me say this though. I did have a closing just for a moment, that when it comes to our brains, we have to remember, pun intended, we have to remember that our brains do not remember things in complete detail. When our brain downloads a message, like a computer would download something into a file, your brain doesn't do it identical like a computer does. Your brain takes the most important parts of it and stores it in, leaving the blanks that it fills in later. This is natural. This is normal for your brain. It's so, I think, personally, so that we can handle storing all the things that we store in our brain. Our brain kind of condenses the files. Have you ever opened a condensed file without reconstructing it? You notice how it don't make sense? That's kind of how our brains remember things in all actuality. It condenses them, and then it pulls on that from there. So don't ever go to battle for just what you remember, unless you can, maybe some way be able to prove your memory at that point. This is what the difficulty we have in courts of law every day. When you can have two people who remember the same situation completely different, but nobody's lying. It happens. And that's just the way it is. So, guys, until our trails meet again, Toronto, and that's right here as well. Nice hanging. It was nice hanging with all you guys. Appreciate you all. Much love to everybody. Sorry, Hiking Deep, it did not work out. Sorry to the audience that it didn't work out for my other guest here this evening, too. I'm at wit's end with that, but I'm going to work on it. Until our trails meet again, I hope all your adventures are awesome. Bye, everybody. Much love. Thank you. Thank you, Wolfgang. And, well, here we go.